In the headlines, former U.S. President Bill Clinton wraps up his first ever visit to Dominica after making stops at some locations affected by Hurricane Maria. Dominica to transform its energy sector with support from the Clinton Foundation, and a new champion in the 2018 Sports Division Under-20 Secondary Schools Football Championships. I am Andrea V with the Channel 5 News, back with the details after this.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fenced pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Do you need more cash for that home improvement? Then come to Fast Cash, where we give you more. At Fast Cash, our customers get more funds and more time to repay. But wait, can't come to us? We'll come to you, and our mobile officer will get you on your way. Small businesses, consumers, and taxi owners, Fast Cash has more for everyone. Simply call or visit any of our locations for more, smarter, faster, better. Fast Cash. Terms and conditions apply.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, former U.S. President Bill Clinton says Dominica has an opportunity to revolutionize its energy sector. Iduna Jean-Baptiste has that story.
President Clinton put a definite stamp of approval on Prime Minister Skerritt's vision to make Dominica the first climate-resilient country during a visit to the island on Tuesday. President Clinton's initial commitment when he addressed the nation on Tuesday is to help come up with results for meeting reliable and affordable electric service.
So our job here is to help you develop the last touches of your integrated resource plan and then help you implement it, to work with your utility, DOMLEC, the Independent Regulatory Commission, and our partners at the Rocky Mountain Institute.
Even before that, America's 42nd president endorsed Dominica's post-disaster recovery ambitions at a CARICOM UN pledging conference in New York last November. His arrival on island is on the heels of a planning meeting with Caribbean leaders in New York last week, ahead of the launch of an action network on post-disaster recovery.
I have watched country after country after country in the Caribbean held back with the highest electric rates in the world because they insisted on continuing years after they should have the old model of importing heavy oil or diesel when there were ample solar, wind, and in your case, geothermal resources available to deal with it.
Mr. Clinton, as a strong believer of clean energy solutions, says the most effective way he can help people is to convene a group that will work with government and local leaders.
We have to prove that we can stop rising sea levels. We have to prove that we can fight the most destructive impacts of climate change, and we have to prove we can do it and make it good economics. That's the bottom line. That's what all this is about. Everything you will read from here on out. How are the details going on the geothermal project? To provide geothermal power here, to provide it for export. All the details you read for the next few years. Just remember, that's what's at stake. Can we find a different way to develop and generate power that gives you a chance to raise your children and your grandchildren in this place safely and more prosperously? The answer is yes. And I just am very grateful that your Prime Minister, almost more than any other leader around, gets it.
The Clinton Foundation Action Network is focusing on energy, infrastructure, health, education, and economic development of hurricane-ravaged Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, Antigua and Barbuda, and Dominica. The government of Norway has been an instrumental backer of the Clinton Foundation's belief that the Caribbean can lead the way in producing clean power and reducing the threat of climate change. The Action Network will formally convene for a meeting on April 3rd at the University of Miami. Mr. Clinton's one-day mission entailed meetings with the Cabinet of Ministers, President Charles Savre, a walkthrough in Pishley, and a visit to the Sufria Primary School.
We love you, President Clinton. Come back soon.
In related news, Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says he will strengthen ties with the Clinton Foundation as part of moves to transform the energy sector. Prime Minister Skerrit revealed the plan at a press briefing on Tuesday after discussions with former U.S. President and co-founder of the Clinton Foundation, Bill Clinton, at the Financial Center.
I am grateful that as one of the Action Network's first 3 commitments to action, the Digital Foundation will be repairing or rebuilding 7 schools and 360 homes in Dominica that were damaged or destroyed by Maria. And today, our relationship with the Clinton Climate Initiative will grow deeper as we announce our plans to work together to develop a rapid integrated resource plan for Dominica's energy sector. I look forward to working with President Clinton and the Clinton Climate Initiative as we transform Dominica's energy sector into a model of resilience that the entire region and world can follow.
Mr. Skerrit says he has had a long-standing relationship with the Clinton Foundation dating back 6 years.
President Clinton has been a long-term friend to Dominica and the entire Caribbean community, and I've had the pleasure of working with him and the Clinton Climate Initiative since 2012, developing clean, renewable energy projects in Dominica. As a matter of fact, the Clinton Climate Initiative were exceptional in assisting us in developing our geothermal project as our advisors. Since the devastation of Hurricane Maria, President Clinton's commitment to Dominica's future has only grown stronger. He immediately pledged that he would do whatever he could to help us rebuild as the world's first climate-resilient nation. And since then, he has backed up that pledge with action.
On to Carnival news, another member of Dominica's royal family has expressed her views on the lack of pageants during Mas Dominic 2018 celebrations. During the launching of the 2018 Carnival celebrations in January, officials indicated that discussions were being held on whether or not to host the Miss Dominica pageant later this year. At the release of the Carnival calendar, the notable national pageants, namely the Princess Show, Miss Teen Dominica and the Miss Dominica pageants, were absent from the list of activities. When asked her thoughts on not hosting pageants during the regular Carnival celebrations, Miss Teen Dominica 2017, Cheyenne Dewhurst, said she believes Dominica should focus more on rebuilding post-Hurricane Maria.
I think that not having pageants this year is a good initiative because it gives us the opportunity to focus on more important things since Hurricane Maria.
Important things like?
Important things like growing as a community together and to just rebuild Dominica as it should be.
Do you think we should have the pageant in April nonetheless?
Probably that would be a good idea also.
Dewhurst, who had left Dominica shortly after the hurricane, was on island for the Carnival Street Festival, which she says was a good sample of the Carnival experience in Dominica.
Recently, I have migrated for educational purposes, but home is where my heart is, and Dominica will always be my home no matter where I am. So it was a very good experience. For those who were not there, you missed out on a lot of stuff like the Calypso shows and the Carnival costumes this year because they have very beautiful costumes.
And what do you hope to see, or what would be a message for your peers and even for Dominica on a whole as we engage in celebrations for Mas Dominic 2018?
To Dominica on a whole, it is very important that we rebuild, not just physically, but internally for the soul.
In other news, a new addition by the Ministry of Urban Renewal for the more efficient cleaning up of the city of Roseau. This as a mop-up crew has been crafted to head to the streets once a week to further assist in the cleaning up of the city. Minister for Tourism and Urban Renewal Robert Tong told Channel 5 News that crews are a regular feature in the streets. However, as there is still considerable debris being put out for collection, there is need for increased manpower to keep the city aesthetically pleasing.
The city cleaning continues. We actually have a mop-up crew. We're putting in place a new, what I call, in addition, a mop-up crew. Why a mop-up crew? Because people are still putting out stuff, and which some of them are not supposed to do, but we understand the private citizens are going to have a challenge. The elderly will have a challenge, so the mop-up crew, once a week, they will pass around and try to pick up all the debris that is placed on the side of the road. So it's a continuous project. It's costly, but we realize it has to be done to keep our country clean.
The minister also revealed that a collaborative effort is being undertaken with the Ministry of Public Works for road improvement projects in the city to ensure the safety of locals and tourists.
The road works has improved, and we're working closely with the Ministry of Public Works because, as I said, getting us ready for the cruise is not only the site, it's also the road to the site. So making sure all of it is clean, and I'm hoping that very soon a program will be implemented to make sure that all the road failures and stuff like that are fixed. Firstly, importantly, to make sure that our people are safe. And obviously, once our people are safe, it takes into consideration our visitors.
And a Jamaican company has been on the ground here, taking a closer look at ways in which it can help in Dominica's post-Maria reconstruction efforts. The head of Argyle Industries also runs Caribbean Love Now, an organization created in response to Hurricanes Irma and Maria. He says assistance from his company will take the form of restoration of schools and possibly health facilities. The company sent in containers of relief supplies to Dominica after Hurricane Maria, and they are now back for the construction phase.
We tend to deal with this massive reconstruction process for not just 1 year, but for a number of years to see what we can do to better everybody here and to understand just what it takes. In terms of the dollars, I can't really say how many dollars it is. I know that Hardware and Lumber and some of my other companies are contributing a lot of goods, in terms of building supplies. We're certainly very interested in getting the job done and doing it quickly, and we will be back here to see if we can get a very clear understanding on how we can really move together, to do the best we can in terms of reconstruction.
Prime Minister Skerritt has been instrumental in helping the company identify Dominica's critical post-Maria problems. That's news. Coming up next, your sports highlights with Kenny Williams.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth or call 445-5001, 275-5003 today.
Trust me, fellas, HIV is for real. Don't take chances, it's not worth it. Use a condom every time, fellas. The choice is yours, don't take chances. I play it safe, I use a condom every time. You should as well.
A message brought to you from the National HIV/AIDS Response Program, reminding you to be safe this carnival.
First up in sports, although West Indies under-19 did not successfully defend their title and was knocked out early in the ICC World Cup, Alik Athanase still finished as top run scorer. With the finals completed on the weekend where India defeated Australia by a whopping 8 wickets to lift the 2018 ICC under-19 trophy, none of the other batsmen in the tournament surpassed Athanase's total score. There was a 46-run difference between the top run scorer and second place. Athanase finished with 418 runs, with the second place being Subman Gill's 372. Alik's top run score in the competition was 160 not out. However, the highest score by any batsman in this year's tournament was 199 by Sri Lanka's Hasitha Boyagoda. In cricket, there were wins for Trinidad and Tobago Red Force and Hampshire in the Super 50 Cup on Monday. Losing their third straight match in the competition, Windward Volcanoes was bowled out for 222 in 48.3 overs. Devon Smith was most impressive with the bat for Volcanoes with 68. Kirk Edwards was the closest scoring batsman to Smith on the Volcanoes team with 32. Sunil Narayan continued his good form, taking 4 wickets for 25 runs. Set 223 for the win, Red Force scored 226 for the loss of 6 wickets in 39.2 overs. Evan Lewis smashed a century, while Amir Django resisted with 41. Larry Edwards picked up 4 wickets for 38 runs for Volcanoes. Meantime, Hampshire beat combined campuses and colleges by 4 runs. Batting first, the winning team scored 152 all out in 42.3 overs. Brad Taylor contributed a timely 69 to help boost the score. With the target set at 153, CCC fell short and was bowled out for 148 in 46 overs. Moving on to football, it was goals galore in the DFA Flow Nations Cup with 2 teams scoring 8 each. In the most recent games, we can tell you that Central Cooperative Credit Union Dublin Football Club unleashed a lethal striking attack to defeat Skerrit Northeast 8-0 at Benjamin's Park. With a hat-trick from Travis Joseph, 2 each from Shirkel St. Marie and Royston Fergus, and 1 from Jesse Daru, the win was secured. Over at Lap Lane Playing Field, Sajiko Southeast had similar fortunes when they hammered Kalinago Football Club 8-1. Jocelyn Prince netted 3, with Rendell Prince adding 2. Malian Phillip, Ted George and Scotty Phillip also added 1 each to complete the onslaught. Ricardo George scored the lone goal for Kalinago team. At Castle Bruce, Belfast Estate Mausoka Strikers finished 4 goals ahead to defeat East Central 6-2. Kenny George supported with a beaver trick, while Nick Anthony and Brad John Baptist scored 1 each. Rion Coffey and Nathan Newton did the damage for East Central. Going back to Lap Lane Playing Field, where RC Doctors beat LA Stars 2-0. Darren James and Cameron John Baptist netted for the winning team. Northern Concrete and Steel Bombers and Exodus FC played to a 1-1 draw at Benjamin's Park. Corbin Paul netted for Bombers, while Ashwan Hill converted for Exodus. Finally, the match between Boston Warner and the We United Football Club ended in the 31st minute of play, when a player from the Boston Warner team attacked the match official. Meantime, the Sports Division Secondary Schools Under-20 Football Championship has a new champion for 2018. Playing at Benjamin's Park, Dominica State College dethroned former champs Dominica Grammar School in a 2-0 defeat. The dynamic duo of Lemar Irish and Dylan Augustine ensured a win was a reality for DSC. And the national sprinter Mitchell Davis finished 3rd in his 2nd race for the year. Competing in the 400 meters on the weekend as a test of strength, Davis clocked 47.8 seconds in the men's event. In January, he ran 48.25 seconds in the same race. The national sprinter says he is pleased with the way his body is performing so far.
This weekend I ran the 400 meters at the Goldsmith Classics here in Jamaica. I came 3rd overall with the 3rd fastest time. A big improvement from last week's performance. Last week I came, I think, 8th or 9th in the top 10, and now I'm 3rd fastest. I'm not really training for the 400 meters. I'm just using it as preparation for my 200 meters, and I'm really looking forward to running the 200 meters at the next competition. I believe that God is using me as an instrument, and He's using my body to glorify His name with my talents. It's a great deal of improvement. From in just 1 week I ran like almost half a second faster, and I'm not even training for the race. So it's I'm not really surprised because I have faith. And I believe that greater things should be coming soon.
Davis, who is based in Jamaica, is preparing for the 2018 Commonwealth Games, scheduled for Gold Coast, Australia, from April 4 to 15. That's all the time for sports. I am Kenny Williams. Join us next time.
To end the news, the headlines again. Former U.S. President Bill Clinton wraps up his first ever visit to Dominica after making stops at locations affected by Hurricane Maria. Dominica to transform its energy sector with support from the Clinton Foundation. And a new champion in the 2018 Sports Division Secondary Schools Under-20 Football Championships. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us tomorrow.